Hi, I'm Rich from the Backroads channel.
And I'm Mark, also from the Backroads channel. Again, coincidence? We'll let you be the judge.
Possibly.
We're looking for new places to go and new places to show you in 2025, and we've got some good ones picked out already. But before we do that, we'd like to take a step back in time to 2024. Yeah, we're not going that far back.
No.
But we saw some really interesting places in 2024. Let's take a quick look.
Yeah, some of the treks that we're going to do, people that had skills, great food.
Now, there was really quite a variety of places that we went to.
Absolutely. And we learned a lot too.
We did.
So
We did.
we're going to take you on that trek. And let me tell you something. What you're going to see, you're going to want to watch again. You're going to go back in our video library and watch them again because you'll catch some stuff that you may not have got the first time. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, let's get started at the Grief General Store.
What a better place to start.
Yes.
That was actually one of our first places, I believe.
Yep. And matter of fact, you found a very interesting item, if I remember right, on the front porch.
There are some very, very interesting items to find at Grief General Store. I found what I would consider to be a multi-purpose item.
Well, matter of fact, take a look at this.
But look at this. I mean, it's tin. This was dinnerware at its best because you had the food and the drink all in one thing. You could just take your food and eat it, and boy, I'm told that food in one of these was absolutely some of the best cuisine you could ever want.
But Mark, you also found a very sweet treat.
That I've gone back for a time or two since then. We did not put that on camera, but they've got Addie Mae fudge at the back, and all kinds of fudge and more varieties than I even knew existed.
Oh yeah, well, take a look at this picture of him with his fudge.
Look at the size of these walnuts. A lot of other walnut fudges that I've had from a different variety of shops. You might have a few very, very little pieces here and there scattered throughout. These are big chunks of walnuts. So if you're a walnut fudge fan like I am, I don't even know where to cut this.
Okay, as we left that place, now we go on to another one. And I think this one is going to be a great place. Because if you haven't seen it, folks, you need to go watch it.
This is actually one of my favorite places because I'm a junkie for things made out of solid wood and copper and steel, and you don't see a lot of authentic USA made items like that anymore.
No.
So Bentonsport, Iowa, of all places to go. Here's a gentleman that he works with wood kitchenwares, copper, steel.
Absolutely.
A lot of really, really neat tools that he has.
Randy, and it's Treen Woodworking.
Treen.
And we learned what Treen actually meant.
We did.
So, as a matter of fact, Randy will explain all the stuff that he does and makes it. Matter of fact, watch this.
Treen is an old English word that means of a tree or from a tree, and that's what it is. And so a lot of people think it's my last name, but it's actually, that's what it is. It's an old English word.
And as you can see, Randy does a fantastic job.
He does. He puts a lot of work into this. And I think also he does do a little teaching on how to do this, doesn't he?
A little bit. But if you haven't been there, folks, you really need to go there and watch it. It's fantastic work. Okay, now we're going to go to a place that's been around for almost 100 years.
Yeah, this is really an icon in the community, and there's quite a story behind how it even came to still be in existence because they had to build a parking garage over the top of this.
Yeah.
But this is really kind of place. It's even a TV show based restaurant. It's called the Canteen, and this isn't something you drink out of. No. This is an eatery. It's in an alley in Ottumwa, Iowa.
So they call it the Canteen in the Alley.
Now, we want to make one distinction because they're very quick to point this out. It's a loose meat hamburger sandwich. It is not a Made Right.
No.
Not a Made Right. It's a loose meat hamburger sandwich. So basically you walk in and they tell you cheese or no cheese, how many do you want? Pretty simple.
And made right in front of you. As a matter of fact, watch this. And you're going to see how they make this, folks, from start to finish.
What would you like to drink?
I'll take a diet, whatever you have.
Diet Coke or
That'll
iced
work.
tea?
Diet Coke will be fine.
Two of them, Karen. Or Mike. Hi, Mike.
Karen.
There you go.
All right, thank you very much. And you know, people from all over the world come just for this.
I think we both had 2 apiece, didn't we?
Yeah, you had a little more than that because you had trouble walking out.
I hadn't eaten that day yet before. I was fasting just to get ready for this shoot. Oh, it was so worth it. And this is the first time in a while that I've actually had a canteen burger. Oh, they live up to their name. They're so good.
Remember the TV show that they based on that particular place?
No, I don't.
The Roseanne Show.
Was it really?
They called it the Lanford Diner.
Okay.
So that's something people need to understand. That was something else. Okay. Since we're talking about history, let's talk about another one.
I think we're going a little south for this now from Ottumwa, aren't we? South and east a little bit.
Eldon, Iowa.
Now you think, what in the world could possibly be of historical significance in Eldon, Iowa? Well, there are several places actually, but this particular place was based off of a famous painting.
Yes, and a matter of fact, this painting is actually worldwide known. And it's in the Art Institute in Chicago. And a little town in Eldon, Iowa holds the distinction for that painting. Most people have heard it, especially around here, we've heard it called the Dibble House. But you know it as American Gothic.
And of course the painter is Grant Wood.
And it stands out. And we took a beautiful tour of that, didn't we? Matter of fact, Carrie Nicely did a wonderful job.
And I actually got to go inside and tour the house from top to bottom, which was really, really interesting.
So, Carrie Nicely did a wonderful job. As a matter of fact, this is some of what it looks like inside the center and also from the house. So, folks, what do you think of that? Isn't that neat how those windows looked? Isn't that neat?
It was pretty cool.
So you really need to, if you get any chance at all, come to Eldon, Iowa and check it out for yourself. Okay, Mark, you're on the next one.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite places to go to, because I'd driven by this little eatery a number of times over the years. And outside they have Home of the Wally Burger. That's what they call it. And I have always wondered what a Wally burger is. What does it consist of? Well, burger, obviously, but I'd heard a number of different things that goes into making a Wally burger. So we finally sat down and said, you know what? Let's just go see this for ourselves.
Yeah.
This diner has been around since 1941, okay? So these guys are not beginners. And you walk in and it's almost like you're stepping back into 1941.
Well, in the gist of it, it still has the original stools.
It does.
Nothing has really changed much on the inside. It kept the distinction of that. But what's so unique about it is way your food is prepared.
Yeah, you sit at the counter and the cook is right in front of you on the
Yes.
other side. You can watch everything being cooked. We're talking about the Fort Diner in Fort Madison, Iowa. We went to check that out, and I found out real quick what a Wally burger was. This is one of the biggest burgers I've ever seen. It was gargantuan. This is a 1 pound burger.
It's a behemoth.
And let's see, what else do they put? Well, you can get basically anything on it you want.
Right.
But they typically, I think, put grilled mushrooms and peppers on it and onions, which I just love. They grow in season their own tomatoes in the back.
And lettuce.
And they have a tomato patch in the back. So
Yes.
you're getting a real authentic garden tomato during the season when you're there. So, of course, we go lettuce and tomato with that also. I cut this thing in half. I really thought I was going to be able to finish it. I had high hopes of finishing it. By the time I got through the first half, I thought, you know what? The other half of this is going to be my lunch tomorrow. I was full.
But you know, the nice thing about the place is the atmosphere is unique. It stands out. And they've had a lot of people from all over come there. And it's something you really should try.
And refresh my memory a little bit. One person came in. How many Wally burgers did he eat at one shot?
That was the presidential candidate, Ron DeSantis' crew. And they had ordered, if I believe right, it was 6. And then they were down the road a ways, called in and wanted 6 more. If I believe that was right. And it were so good they came back and got more.
I'm trying to think of a guy. How many? There was one guy. How many did he eat at one shot?
Was it 4?
Two. I don't know if it was that many or not. 2.5.
Yeah, it was.
Something like that.
It was huge.
But if you would see the size, well, you did see the size of the burger. 2.5, and oh, they'd be carrying most people out of there.
Oh yeah. So.
But it was so good, thick, juicy. Oh, one of the best burgers I've had.
Well, as you're looking at right now, you can see the size of that burger. I mean, it's huge.
Do we have time to go over to Fort Madison and get another one? I could use one. I'm getting hungry.
You really should try a meal there because I'll tell you what, their tenderloins are good. They have daily specials, something that everyone should do.
But one of the biggest things I want to go over there and try is their breakfast.
Yeah.
They've got a breakfast over there. I mean, a variety of breakfast items, certainly. But,
and it's all day.
Yeah, how many restaurants do that anymore?
All day. Breakfast is all day long.
Go check it out.
Okay, now that we're going to travel back in time, folks. But this time, we're going to Bentonsport, Iowa, to a husband and wife deal.
And they've been doing this for a lot of years.
Yes. And we're talking about iron and lace. And it's Bill and Betty Purdy. And Bill is a master craftsman at blacksmithing. Very good. He's 87 years old. Still does it. And what he made was beautiful. Some of the stuff and very knowledgeable on his metal. Very knowledgeable. So, yeah. And Betty herself, her pottery. What's unique about her pottery is she uses the flowers from outside of the business. Queen Anne's lace, as she called it.
Just incorporates it into her creations,
pottery.
yeah.
Yes, and they're gorgeous. If anything, folks, if you want something to be a family heirloom, that would definitely be it. Because she does it all right there.
Well, authentic, handmade, locally, just like Treen that we referred to earlier. Mm-hmm. This is all done right here in Van Buren County, Bentonsport, Iowa.
Yeah. It's well worth the trip, folks. There's just a place that's just unimaginable to see for yourself. I mean, what you see on camera is nothing until you walk in those doors.
It's true.
So, make a trek there, folks. You'll definitely be glad you did. And talk to Betty and Bill. They'll be wonderful to talk to. They'll talk your leg off. They're just wonderful people.
Yeah, they'll talk to you for 2 minutes or 2 hours if they have time.
Unless Betty's on a coffee break.
They're usually fairly busy though.
Yes. So, you need to stop in and check that out. Well, now we move on down the street a little ways.
You know, I referred earlier when we were talking about Treen and his woodworking and copper and metal and all that, and does some really, really great work. I'm also a sucker for antiques. Mm-hmm. Antiques are so unique that what would they tell you if they could talk?
Oh.
There are stories galore in antiques. I love antiques, and this place that we are going to highlight next did not disappoint.
No.
A tremendous antique store, Sisters Vintage and More, the name of the place. We talked with Sue, the owner. She made us feel right at home, told us about a lot of the antiques that she has there. She's got a collection you've got to go see.
Matter of fact, those cookie jar collection she had was immense.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. And she has jewelry, the barber chair.
That was really neat.
Oh, yeah. An antique barber chair. And she's got it. And her stuff changes all the time.
It does.
And she told the story about the guy coming in and buying a bunch of the cookie jars at one shot. He was from Texas.
That's right.
So you need really come in and check this place out. And Sue is wonderful to talk to, and she'll help you in any way she can, and she'll show you all of it, won't she? Matter of fact,
that's right.
As we scan around and you're looking here throughout the store, you can see for yourself. There's a lot of beautiful stuff there. So,
Indeed, there is.
So that's Sisters Vintage and More. So that's in Bentonsport. So please check that out.
Well, up to now we've been talking about antiques, authentic, handmade items right in Van Buren County proper. A lot of history to be made there. Well, staying with that theme, we traveled back to the city of Bridges, Ottumwa, Iowa, to a place called Iowa Heartland History Connection.
Oh, yes.
We were there probably half the afternoon.
Oh.
Going through all that. There is just some phenomenal things to see there. One thing that we found interesting, though, that place has a connection to an old television program.
Yes. As a matter of fact...
One of my very favorite shows, by the way.
Matter of fact, does the name Radar mean anything?
Well, if that doesn't, put the name O'Reilly after it. And if that's not a dead giveaway, then I don't know what we can do.
MASH is the TV show, and he always speaks in the TV show of Ottumwa, Iowa.
He does indeed.
And they actually have a display in there.
They do.
The MASH, and it's not the original, but a reproduction of the teddy bear that Radar slept with.
And his bunk and some
Yep.
other memorabilia that looks like what they actually had on the set.
Yes. But what's also neat is they span different histories in there in different ways, and it's so gorgeous.
They do. It's very, very interesting to see.
I mean, I particularly like the player piano. That was beautiful.
I had a good time with that. Gorgeous piano, great sound, really, really neat.
And then, of course, they had the big bicycle, the big wheeled bicycle.
That they rode back about 1900.
Yeah, how they did it, I don't know.
Yeah, how you
but-
get on and off that thing. And I wasn't about to try it.
But this is something you need to go in and check this out. It's not just for Ottumwa, it's for all of Southeast Iowa.
That's right.
So, please, if you get any chance, folks, load up the family. It's a great place to go and visit for quite a while. And I mean, you'll see things, and it's a whole family fun event.
Yeah, plan to spend a little time.
Yes, that's right in Ottumwa. So, please go out there. It's the Iowa Heartland History Connection. You'll be glad you did, please. Well, back on the road we went, and we ended up back in Eldon.
And back at another blacksmith shop.
Yes.
Now, how many blacksmith shops would you even think were in the state of Iowa, let alone in neighboring counties, basically?
Right. But in Eldon, Iowa, there's a nice gentleman there named Larry, and he does blacksmithing, and he kind of incorporates some of the old with the new, how he does it.
Well, and very much like Bill Printy's blacksmith shop in Bentonsport, we walked into Larry Crow's blacksmithing shop. It really was like you were stepping back into the 1800s. Just the decor, everything he had in there, his tools. He was working with a lot of vintage tools in there.
Oh, absolutely.
So this is absolutely back to the older days.
A very nice gentleman, knew his trade, and can make all kinds of stuff from metal. And just the way he talks about it, you can tell his heart's really in it. You can really see the passion that's there.
Yeah, I think we spent a couple of hours
Oh,
there
yes.
just going over some things, and he made 2 or 3 things for us to look at. You'll see here. Very, very interesting time.
Yeah, if you get a chance, you need to really visit Larry. He's a fantastic man to talk to. He will talk to you and show you what he can do. Matter of fact, he could probably make something for your house, too.
It's amazing what you can find right in your own backyard,
Yes,
isn't it?
absolutely. So, check that out, folks.
Well, over the river and through the woods, but we didn't exactly end up at Grandma's house.
No, not exactly, but it was close.
Well, and for the food that we got served, you would have thought this was something Grandma made from scratch.
Yeah. We made a stop in Bloomfield, Iowa.
We did.
Mimi's Kitchen.
Mimi's Kitchen, yeah. Claudette and Mike Bonnell, the proprietors, and we got a cinnamon roll, the size of which I have not had in a long time.
That was gorgeous.
It was.
And a matter of fact, everything is made fresh daily.
It is, yes.
Daily. And she has noon meal specials and stuff too. One thing she said, she doesn't own a deep fryer, doesn't she?
She does not.
No, everything is baked and homemade right back there. But she also sells locally made goods too. But her baked goods are phenomenal.
Well, and she serves, you talked about daily specials. Some of the specials she serves up, you won't go to just any restaurant and find on a menu.
No. And she's located on the north side of the square in Bloomfield. And the specials that she does, but her baked goods are unbelievable. That day, that cinnamon roll. As a matter of fact, I think she has cinnamon rolls every day.
She does. Very, very good.
But, oh, yeah, if you have a sweet tooth, if you don't or you know somebody does, there's a place to be, folks, right there. You need to check out all the items and make sure you stop there and tell her you said hi and check out the video for yourself. See?
Now, you talk about opposites. We go from a sweet and delicious cinnamon roll from Mimi's Kitchen in Bloomfield back to something that turned me into a fire-breathing dragon back in Bentonsport, Iowa.
Well, on the road again we go. This is my favorite.
Yeah, I was ready to get on the road again after I tried this.
We went to Bentonsport, Iowa to...
Yeah, Sweet Maple Mercantile. Jill, I still have nightmares about that.
But what she offers, she has a lot of different sauces and stuff that she has. And it's amazing to all of the stuff she offers. She gives you taste tests too.
Yes, and a taste test is exactly what I got myself into. There were a couple of college girls, 20 plus, give or take.
Well, as you're seeing here.
Yeah, and they're sitting here, oh, this isn't too bad. It's a little hot. We're talking about something with the Carolina Reaper in it.
Yeah.
It's one of the world's hottest peppers.
Well, they took it like a champ. You didn't.
They're 30 years younger than I am.
As a matter of fact, folks, we got to play this again just so you can laugh. Watch this clip.
Okay, which were the hotter ones? I don't think there was one that you gals didn't like, right?
Correct.
Okay. Which is the real hot?
Do you want the hottest one?
Is it here?
It's that one.
That one is the hottest one.
That one was bringing tears to my eyes.
You might need a chaser for this one.
Well, I've lived a good life. God's been good to me. We don't live forever, and it all has to end sooner or later. So we go out with a blaze of glory. This one here, right?
Yep, that's the hottest one.
I haven't eaten it yet, and I just saw my life flash before my eyes again. Oh, brother.
It like doesn't, it all of a sudden
Wow.
it's like there.
There's more crackers to calm it down. Do you want a root beer?
And you sell this stuff to an unsuspecting public, Jill.
Hey, you know.
Oh, man. Now everybody laughing at my misery. Thank you very much.
I can't.
Oh, that burned like fire. I tell you, that was hot.
Oh, I love it. But it was well worth it because Jill did make you feel sorry.
A lot of the other sauces and rubs and everything she's got in there, they are fabulous.
But she's got a store full of stuff.
She does.
And it's well worth the stop, folks. You need to go check it out and tell Jill that you saw it here, and she'll laugh and tell her about the fire-breathing dragon that Mark was.
Hey, I live to tell about it.
So stop in and say hi to Jill at Sweet Maple Mercantile down in Bentonsport.
Now, on a little brighter note, we talk homemade pizza.
Yes.
This is actually some of the best pizza I've had in a while, too.
Yes.
West Point, Iowa is where we're going. Brad's Pad.
Oh, yeah.
It is a really neat place. They make some pretty good ice cream in there too, though, among other things. But you and I went and we had a pizza made our way.
Yes.
It was fabulous.
And the thing is, Brad makes his own sauce. Matter of fact, it took him a long time, he said, to perfect it. And his crust is wow.
Yeah, crust is amazing.
And his top seller is his taco pizza, he said. That is the best.
I can believe it.
But, oh yeah, it was amazing. And he's got a family game room there, so if you're having a party or something for your family and your kids want, it's wonderful. And he is a very person that you could just sit and chat with. He's great to talk to. But we filmed, as you're watching here, he's making the pizza from scratch. And I mean, he's taking the dough and working it and everything. So, and the pizza, oh, just phenomenal. I mean, absolute. And just, if you've heard anything at all about pizza, this will blow your mind.
It was very good pizza, to
Yes.
say the least.
So
but if a sub sandwich is what you've got in mind, the sandwiches are phenomenal too.
Yes.
We talked about the ice cream. Just a really nice place to take the family for an evening out.
That's Brad's Pad down there in West Point, Iowa, folks. So check that out for yourself. You'll be glad you did.
If you haven't seen kind of a theme setting up here, a lot of places we go are small towns.
Yes.
We really like the small towns because there's so many treasures to be found in these smaller communities.
Well, and small towns hold big things too.
They do.
And one of them is in Cantrell, Iowa.
It is.
And we're talking about the Fox Den.
Very good place to eat.
Oh, and when she says homemade mashed potatoes, it don't come out of a box, folks. They hand peel them every day. And real mashed potatoes, real homemade gravy. And the meatloaf I had that day was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And the tenderloins are huge. And it's just, everything is down the way it should be, like Grandma used to make, or hometown cooking. I mean, it's just that great feel that you get when you leave if you can walk.
Well, especially if you go on a day that they're having one of their buffets.
Oh, yeah.
We did that one Friday afternoon. They had roasted chicken, catfish, homemade macaroni and cheese, mashed potatoes and gravy, several other things.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't even remember them all.
And then she has daily specials, too.
She does.
And her new hours, though, she's open from 8 a.m. till 4. So you need to check this out, folks. I mean, it's a small town cafe that has a great big meal.
But if you want to just walk in and say, hey, I want a cheeseburger and fries, they'll
They've got
fit
it.
you up.
Oh, yes. So that's the Fox Den in Cantrell, Iowa, folks. I mean, well worth the trip, and a meal you won't forget. Trust me.
Well, while we're in Cantrell, people think of Cantrell, Iowa as being the home of what place?
The Dutchman store.
The Dutchman store.
Yes. Yeah, who could forget that place?
With an essentially new facility now that they've been in for, 3 months or so?
Yes. And the thing is, they were downtown at one time, and parking was atrocious.
Parking was tough.
Oh,
yeah.
But their new place, as a matter of fact, we're going to show you right here. Well, as you can see, the parking lot's huge.
And that parking lot fills up pretty quickly, too, on any given day.
But they are a general store, and they really, truly mean general store.
Well, and you'll find the same items you always found when they were downtown, just more of them.
Yes. As a matter of fact, some stores today go to convenience. This has everything. Whether you need yard goods to make your own dresses, they have jeans, they have toys, they have, hunting stuff there for you.
Well, full clothing line.
yeah.
They have some sporting goods even.
Oh, yes.
Anything for the home, kitchen, you name it.
Oh, yeah, and if you're into making your own, like, sausage, they have that. They have meat slicers.
You got dehydrators.
Oh, yeah.
One of the biggest ice cream freezers I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing will be great at a picnic if you want to serve a lot of people. Yeah, it's there too.
And another thing that's very big, too, is their grocery items. They have a huge grocery place. I mean, it is unbelievable what you can buy there. I mean, they have bulk items, but the wide selection that they have. And the prices are very, very reasonable. I mean, everything from the meats to the vegetables. I mean, our across the board is there. And then they have their own bakery.
They do.
They make angel food cakes, they make breads, homemade breads, and they have sandwiches you can eat there too.
They really make some good sandwiches
Oh,
over
yes.
there.
As a
And
matter
they've
of-
got a huge dining area.
As a matter of fact, as we scanning around right here, as you can see, that dining area is fantastic.
It is.
And it is just gorgeous inside this new store. And it is just a great place to go and shop. If you've never been there, if you've been a long ways away and you've heard about it, or you've never been there at all, it's well worth the trek to go there.
Anytime you pull into that parking lot, you're going to see a number of license plates from different states.
As a matter
Pretty
of-
much on a daily basis.
I found one time that was there. It was from Alaska.
Yep, I've seen
So-
that.
So it's not just, here in southeast Iowa, the tri-state area. There's people come from all over.
They do.
So check that out. That's the Dutchman store, just right outside of Cantrell on Highway 2. We're going to make our trek on the road again, but this time we're going to the dogs.
Yeah, a lot of people would say this is probably going to the dogs.
Well, we're making ourselves over to a little bitty burg, Unionville, Iowa, to a place called the Muddy Dog.
And again, who would ever guess that there
Yeah.
would be a restaurant of this quality in Unionville, Iowa?
Don't let the name fool you, folks. They have gourmet smash burgers. They have pizza that is made fresh, and they actually use Italian sausage from an Italian shop in Des Moines called Graziano's. I will mention that. And the burgers were fantastic.
I would recommend the mushroom and Swiss.
Well, the bacon jam burger was pushing.
Very good too.
Yes. And yes, and the food there is phenomenal.
So was the decor, though.
Oh, yeah, the atmosphere was unbelievable. I mean, just looking at the place from the outside, you wouldn't think it's that. But when you walk in, you're going to step back and go, whoa.
Indeed, you will.
And Daryl, fantastic. Him and his wife, they help run that place. I mean, they keep it up and going really good. But those smash burgers are not dry. They're very, very good.
Very juicy, very big.
Oh, yeah. And the pizzas, order the one that you saw over there. What were they having? The Alfredo one?
I think it was.
Oh, that looked good, too.
It was. They gave me a bite.
So, yeah, the Muddy Dog, Unionville, Iowa. Folks, you need to really check this out. And I know you'll be glad you did. And just tell them you heard, what you saw here on our channel. Daryl will be glad to do that. and
Indeed.
help you. So, well,
Now, going back to more of a historical theme,
yeah, this
but
one
this
here-
actually, this one actually combines history with Ghostbusters.
I guess we could put it that way.
We didn't find Bill Murray and the gang there, but this
You didn't
place,
get slimed either.
we did not get slimed. But this place does have some paranormal activity.
Yes, matter of fact, it happened while you were there.
That's what I'm told.
Yes. Matter of fact, the door opened up behind her. A couple of knocks downstairs, especially one at the Victrola, which even the owner had to tilt her head on that one.
That was interesting.
Yeah. But built in 1846.
The oldest bed and breakfast in the USA right
Yeah,
now.
it is literally the oldest in the United States. Matter of fact, that place was built before Iowa became an official state.
It did.
And it is gorgeous on the inside. The bedrooms.
Well, the antiques are
Oh.
just second to none that they have in there. Some of the quilts that they've got. One quilt that was by far my favorite. The Mason House Inn in Bentonsport was a stop on the Underground Railroad, if you
Yes.
recall. And if it was safe, they would hang this quilt, this very quilt that's hanging in the Mason House Inn. They'd hang that out and would let slaves know that it's safe to proceed on.
And that quilt is hanging in the hallway
It's
there. folks.
there.
And you can check it out for yourself.
The authentic quilt, that's
Yes.
correct.
And what was amazing to me is in the bedrooms itself, they kept the original furniture and stuff there. So like in the one bedroom, which they claim was the same one that like Abraham Lincoln used, the headboard was huge. I mean, what was it, almost 10 feet
Yeah,
tall?
I'd say it was about 10 feet tall.
And all these antiques and stuff were in there. were actual original antiques that are still there.
Well, and some of those antiques were so ornate.
Yes.
Of course, they didn't have power tools and computers with grids and all that on them that they use today. These were craftsmen using hand tools. That's what they had. And, you know, you didn't just crank something out in a couple of days.
No.
It took a long time, but they're just beautiful. You need to go see them.
Yeah, stop in, and Chris and Fifi will be glad to show you around. Be glad to answer any questions. And yes, it is haunted, folks. There are quite a few spirits there.
So they say.
So they say. You've experienced it.
You be the judge.
Yeah, I mean, and they've had people there during Halloween and stuff, and go there, and there have been quite a few people that have seen things. So
I think they've actually had somebody come in that specializes in paranormal activity and check the place out just on that basis.
yeah, they said there's at least 6, if not 7, there.
That's what they say.
So yeah, be your own judge. But it was fantastic and beautiful place, and you really, if you want to see gorgeous and history all under one roof, there it is. I mean, you played that piano.
Played the old piano, sounded great.
1891?
Something like that.
Yeah. And it was original, bought and brought there.
1890s. They
Yes.
have a pump organ in there.
Yes.
We mentioned the quilt, by the way, but they also have several other items in there related to the Underground Railroad.
And one thing was the shackles,
It was.
because the escaped slaves, they weren't brought in there, folks. Those shackles were actually from there. So, and they're hanging on the mantle over there.
That is correct.
In a box. So, if you need to check this out, please do so. Contact Chris and Fifi. They'd be glad to have you stay there. You know, they have a website too, so check them out. And it's just gorgeous. I can't even begin to describe the whole interior, what it looks like. I mean, check it out for yourself. It's wonderful. See, Mark one day was asking, he said, you know, I'm really wanting a steak.
It'd been a while.
Yeah. And I told him, I said, I got a place for you. And he goes, oh, really? Yeah. I said, it's a little ways, not far from here, but you'll be surprised. And we went to Albee, Iowa.
Indeed, we did.
Bogey's Steakhouse. And let me tell you, that was a terrific trip, wasn't it?
Indeed.
Made huge steaks. And cooked on an open charcoal grill.
Right inside the restaurant
Yes.
itself.
And you can watch him over there cooking them.
That's quite an artist.
Yes. And they age their beef. They're hand selected on their beef.
They are seriously picky about where
Yes.
their beef comes from.
Now, Bogey's has been around for almost 30 years. As
Yep.
of February, matter of fact. will be
About
30
that.
Years. And very good quality cuts of meat. I had the ribeye. You had the sirloin.
I had the sirloin.
The big one.
And there's only one size. That's all I could pick from. I think I got 3 meals off of that thing. It's like a 32-ounce sirloin. It
And
was
they
a big
brought
steak.
us also a piece of their prime rib.
They did.
Now, here's the real neat thing. Prime rib isn't just available on Friday or Saturday nights. It's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday and Saturday.
That's correct.
But one thing they have special is their fried potatoes and onions on Saturday night.
Oh, wow.
Tater night, as they call
Yep.
it. But they have baked potatoes during the night. But not only do they have just steaks, Mark, but they have pork chops, loin. They even have salmon
Yep. Walleye.
and walleye. And they also have gourmet burgers.
They do.
So,
And very good sized gourmet burgers, I'd say.
made from ground sirloin.
That's right.
Back. So,
Chicken breast, ham. You've got a lot of different meats to choose from.
yes, and seasoned to perfection. I mean, and they do sandwiches too, like a ribeye steak sandwich too.
Texas toast is pretty good too.
Oh, yeah. So, but tragedy struck there.
Could have been worse.
Yes, it could have been, but it happened on December 8th. They had a fire, folks, and it shut them down, but I had talked to the owners, and they are coming back very shortly. They are rebuilding inside. It wasn't a huge fire, but they got it taken care of. But they assured me that they're going to let us know when they reopen, and everything will be back the way it was.
So maybe we'll go do a quick follow-up.
I think we should, because, so folks, be sure to check out Bogey's when they reopen, and we'll let you know ahead of time, folks, when they reopen, but you'll be glad you did. Wonderful place to be. So that's Bogey's Steakhouse in Albia, Iowa.
And you know, while we're on the subject of Albia, Iowa, they do something really, really neat for the Christmas season. And
Yes,
you
they
were
do.
able to go check that out.
Yes, 35 years. It takes you back in time. It's their Victorian Christmas stroll. I had heard about it. I wanted to see it. And, oh, I can't even begin in words to explain what I saw. It's beautiful. Each window of the square has a different Christmas theme. But it's old-time Christmas past.
Yeah, it's kind of like set back in the Victorian age,
Mhm.
isn't it?
They had a guy in there, he was doing an old-fashioned printing press. There was a guy actually doing hand drawings. And they're all walking around in vintage gowns and stuff, and the old Victorian look. And Christmas music is playing throughout the town. They shut the whole town square off.
Sure.
And just, it gives you that feeling that, hey, this is what it used to be like. And they actually have chestnuts roasting on an open fire there.
So that's not just part of a song.
No. And they were handing them out.
They actually do that.
No. And I wanted some chestnuts, but wasn't allowed to get any. I will leave that one alone.
Okay.
But you know what was amazing to me was looking in the window at the trains where they had them running all through the old tracks. Folks, this is something, it only happens once a year. They do this Victorian Christmas stroll. And it's for young and old. Santa Claus himself was there. And it is something that you will never forget. Your family will never forget. And they sell hot chocolate all over the place. They even give it out to you. It's just Christmas all wrapped up. And it brings back that hometown Christmas feel that you should see.
And you know, that's just one example of all the examples as we've gone from place to place. Community pride is really alive and well.
Yes.
Each community that we visited has its own unique offering, and people go all out for it.
Yes, and that was our last trek of the year of 2024, and we wanted to wrap it up with a bang. And that was one that I'll always remember because I was in awe. I really was. I had high hopes for it, but it was beyond the hopes that I had even had. I mean, what I saw was gorgeous. I mean, these old-fashioned dresses and stuff, and the people poured out their heart and soul into this.
Quite a deal.
So if you need to check that out, I know it's after Christmas, but you need to go back and check that out. It's something, and I think this coming year in 2025, we're going to do that again.
Well, that's the thing. Check out Christmas of 2024.
Oh.
Make your plans now that you see what it is they do. Come see it in person.
Yes. Now, you've seen what we did in 2024. Now we're going to give you about 2025. A little bit of sneak peek what we got planned. We're going to take you to different places, museums. Matter of fact, we're going to go to, as a matter of fact, the oldest ice cream place in the United States.
That would be interesting.
And it's in the original building, and they still do phosphates. They make their own ice cream in-house, and the building is phenomenal when you go there.
Now, here's the argument. Do you do this in the summertime when the weather's hot, or are you one of these that can eat, like me, ice cream year-round? Doesn't matter how cold it is, I'll take it year-round. Some people, they're summertime only.
Well,
So whatever camp you fall into,
here's the thing.
you're going to want to
folks.
check this out.
You definitely want to check this one out. But we're also going to hit a family that's an Italian eatery. They are from Italy, folks.
I'm really looking forward to this.
And they do everything handmade. And we're going to, matter of fact, make our trek there. We're also going to go see some different sites of, matter of fact, festivals. We're going to be going to different festivals. We're going to hit a movie site where they filmed a movie. That was a big blockbuster movie.
That'll be fun.
And also a birthplace of a famous movie actor. and we're not going to tell you who it is.
Or where it is.
No, but
we're going to go there.
yes, we are. We're going to check this one out because I think you're really going to love this one. And then we're also going to go down on the Mississippi. We're going to take a little trek on the Mississippi.
On the muddy Mississippi.
Yes. And no life jacket. So 2 of us go.
Oh, then I'm not going. I can't swim.
But we're going to be traveling down to Missouri. We're also going to be traveling all over the tri-state area, folks.
Indeed.
So this is just some of the highlights that we're going to bring you. The things that you're going to see, folks, you're going to want to check out for yourself.
Yeah, they're definitely worth seeing.
Oh, yes. So
We're just giving you a little example of what all is out there. This is not meant to take the place of you actually going to experience these places for yourselves.
no, we want you to see this, give you a highlight, and then go check it out for yourself. Believe me, we're going to just give you little teasers and taste of it. But to get the real gist of it, you need to go there for yourself.
Indeed you do.
But like I said, this is just a hint of some of the places we're planning on going. So, and don't forget, there's going to be a lot of food places we're going to hit too, so you can have your fun there. So,
And I will.
so, anyways, folks, please like and subscribe our channel. We're looking forward to serving you here in 2025. And also, too, if you want to help us out, buy us a coffee. We have a link on our channel, right there on our homepage on our channel. Buy us a coffee. Donate to us. Help us with our little expenses that we ran up on this. But it'll be sure to be glad. And we'll give you a like and subscribe for it, folks. You just go click that little button down there and make it go ding, 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 you know. That will help us out. But
Indeed.
that buy us a coffee. We could both use a cup of coffee
I don't
sometime.
drink the stuff.
Well,
You can drink mine. I'll get an iced tea instead.
well, we're going to keep you laughing, folks. We're going to keep you happy, too. So, I'm Rich,
I'm Mark.
and we're with the Backroads channel. And thank you again for joining us tonight. And as always, remember this. We always say this, and we always mean what we say. We're your Backroads. You tell me you forgot.
To adventure.
There. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.
I knew it'd come to me sooner
I
or
know
later.
it would. You did.